Thank you so much actually for first of all for coming on a Saturday. I usually, I always tell people that I really appreciate because, I myself know how hard it is to, come out on a Saturday. It's always a holiday. So, that being said, we meet one of the Saturdays every month and under Startup Grind, which is a platform to engage and, make everyone meet each other to be able to bring out better startup ecosystem out of the Pune city. Today we, as I was mentioning in my newsletters as well, this is like the last event of the year. So we wanted to make it a bit different. Mo would be talking about international communication and how to engage, and do business internationally. He comes from Germany. And to give a formal introduction, I'll just, recite a few lines that I already put in on the web page. So, Mo is a communication coach and consultant and brings confidence and international perspective to individuals and to the organizations. He's the co-author of Amazon bestseller, Upping the Downside. You bought any copies of it?
No, I didn't.
We would have appreciated some autographed copies.
Yeah, that's right.
And a teacher in 5 universities of 2 continents, former chair of LTAB. Okay, so what's that?
It's a professional teachers organization in Berlin and the surrounding.
Okay. And daily meditator for over 3 decades. Wow.
Because of the inspiration of this continent and this culture.
So you have been to India before?
This is my 13th time.
Okay.
The last time was 16 years ago.
Okay. Okay. So do you see any changes now?
I was talking about that before. A huge customer service. The international, so many things, and it's very exciting. And I like to come here and actually sometimes mirror back to younger Indians about all that the richness of Indian culture. And we're going to, that's really the heart of this hour. It's something that comes out of Indian culture, spiritual culture.
Yeah, it's all around us, so yeah.
It is.
Let's see how maybe we can, bring that to our session. So. Yeah. And then Mo works with organizations on helping them more effective online and in personal meetings and making clients quickly rediscover their own confidence. So this way entrepreneurs can feel ready for even pressure of stressful communication. So something, I think as entrepreneurs we have been through all the time. Many times when we are probably feeling that we are having a bad day or things are not coming out. I have I tell you, I have had bad interviews and I have been through such situations. So looking forward to the sessions today and without taking much time. All to you. Do you need anything?
No, everything's good.
Okay. There are some papers in there.
So I'll plan for like 12:15 or a little bit 12:15.
Yeah, that would be.
Okay. So we're beginning?
Yes.
So please take a moment. So a moment to see. Do you feel connected with the space before words? This space or silence before words is also in the middle of the words. Yeah? We know on a very busy day, our mind can become too full. But in the beginning of the day, with good energy, we're thinking, but we feel we have more. We have more space, more creativity. Yeah? So it's okay for this time if we speak slowly. I'm choosing to speak slowly because it will have a different effect on you. I could speak fast to show, look how good my English is. But actually, to speak slowly brings power. Yesterday, I spoke at SPVP College. SP College, everybody knows it, to 60 students. And one man was speaking really fast, like fast Tamil, except English. Yes? Fast. And when I could understand, but I knew nobody in the audience could understand. So he was a brave student. I gave him lots of feedback with respect. And he slowed down and he spoke again. And then I asked the audience, how does it sound for you? Ooh, he's calm, he's powerful. And he said, now he has to practice for his life. Okay? Please, do you feel, as I'm speaking, do you feel like something that stays inside you? Are you aware of your own inner dialogue? I asked you, what do you think? What do you feel? Maybe you're thinking, this guy's an idiot. I don't see it on the faces, but it could be. Please, if you think this or you like what I say, notice it. Okay, this is self-awareness. So the next person, the other way, speak. Let's see if you can speak and bring a little bit of this inner, this private part of yourself. You don't have to tell all of your secrets, but try to show your heart. If you do this, you will sell your products. People will like you. They will have sympathy. You will show sympathy. Yeah? And the quality of your language will be less important. Okay, so the second person, the B partner, try to speak a little bit more slowly, and the other person, listen like it's the love of your life. Okay? Fully as you can. So you have to remember to speak slowly, and one person speaks, the other only listens. Only listens. We need to wind this exercise down. please come to an end. So we have the interesting challenge of trying to do a lot in a short time, and also do it in a way that is that is not rushed. And we can do this. We can do this. So, what we're exploring right now is your internal world. Your internal world. So here is a map. This is a map of communication. Can you see it from the back? Maybe if you can't, I can. There's a couple. Let me see if I have a sheet here to show it to you. Maybe. Well, can you see it okay?
Yeah, we can.
Also in the back? Not sure?
So you can take this out.
Here, I have a couple. Here's at least one. So you can see what I'm pointing to. Thank you, at least one. So, this is all about international business communication. What is the key thing in all communication? What's the key thing? The most important thing in communication? Listening. Listening is important.
Presence of mind. Expression.
Expression is important.
Presence.
Something that mothers and children understand very well. Connection. It's also called love. Yeah? If you feel the love for yourself, the other person will feel it. They will feel it. If you feel, I'm not really good enough, your partner will feel it. In the end, we're talking about the qualities of your own being. Each person is different. Different. Only you can really see what this is. And believe me, Indian culture has so much to say about this that gives to the whole world. So this map of communication, this is the interior, individual part of communication. So here is thoughts, feeling, knowing, being, more. In the introduction, Ayush mentioned that I meditate every day. I meditated for an hour this morning. I am not telling you to meditate, but if you start a startup, try to find a way to manage your stress. Yeah. People burn out. This helps nobody. So try to find a way to spend time with yourself, besides sleeping. Okay? So this here shows, it says here communication confidence. It also means communication trust power. Same word, I just changed the word. This is a better word. So this happens during all communication. But then we go to school, and the teacher says, look at me, I'm important, look at me. The teacher doesn't say, look at yourselves, look at yourselves. Did your teacher do this? Look at me, don't think about yourself. Don't be interested in your own inner world. Look at me. Maybe good, big problems with it. Okay? Think about that. Did school always help me? I need to be creative. I need to have my best energy to start a startup. I'm also in startup phase still. I have to have my best energy inside to meet the world, to communicate effectively internationally. So that's individual. By the way, this is very useful for you to think about for the rest of your work. You can use it in your communication. It will help you not to be blind about any of your experiences. I really recommend it. It comes from the work of a man called Ken Wilber. So here is, I can get this sticky tape off carefully. Where is it? That's good technology. It didn't wreck the poster. Shared understanding. You just had a conversation about your inside and the other person listened. And together you had the feeling of understanding. So right now you're nodding. So when you nod, why do you nod?
Agree with them.
You agree. That means you think you know what my opinion is, and you accept it. Okay.
Match of the thoughts.
Okay. Is that the only reason we nod?
To let the other person know that they're listening.
Alert the other person that we're listening. Great. Also, there's one more thing. Nodding can be I'm listening, can be I agree with your opinion, or it can also be I understand what you want to tell me. I don't agree with it, but I understand what you want to tell me. Yeah? Again, you have so much. I want to say this as fully as I can. I am very optimistic about what India can bring to the world. Why? Because you have deep, deep, deep understanding of diversity. Very deep. It comes from the culture, comes from the different religions. You look at the other person, human being, but has very different, deep beliefs or understanding about the world. But we can still live together. I don't want to say India is perfect, but it can really teach the world a lot about this. And in the highly complex environment with startups, technology getting faster and faster, the world will become more and more complex. So Stephen Hawking calls this century the century of complexity. We all know this, right? It's getting much more complex, right? So at least we don't have to agree with the other person, but we can say, I think I understand what you want. I think I understand your view of the world. It's not mine, but I think I understand. Yeah. So this is shared understanding. So I'm going to change. I have to move fast, but we're going to make sure this concept and also the idea of Globish that we achieve this. Communication trust power is what you all have inside you before you started to learn your first language. You had something in you that began your first word in Marathi. My first word in Marathi was Tsuntsuni. Did I say it right? Tsuntsuni. Ruth brought me here, yes, and she connected me with Manju. I'm very grateful. Okay, we met on a plane. This is the power of a conversation. Ruth, we met on a plane at 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, she was ready. I was ready. We started to talk. In the first seconds, she saw me coming down the plane, and she changed seats so she could sit together, and we talked for 2 hours. That's why I'm here, because of that conversation. I only saw her again after 10 months, 2 days ago. Yeah? That's what can happen if we are in ourselves. When you walk down the street, I have my business, I've got to do. Then I have no chance to meet Ruth. You see? Does everybody know the word serendipity? The most important word in yes, what is serendipity? Serendipity. And somebody want to say it?
We don't have to force ourselves to meet someone. It should happen by chance.
Pretty good, pretty good. Serendipity is when we have an unexpected, very positive event. We meet somebody and beautiful things happen. Okay? This can't happen unless we have a healthy awareness of ourselves inside. You get into the lift. This happened to me in Los Angeles. Who was across from me? Marlon Brando. Everybody knows Marlon Brando, yes? Yeah. He was big and fat, but anyway. But he was in the lift. I was not ready. This happened 20 years ago. I was not ready. I wanted to say, it's Marlon Brando. I love your movies on the waterfront. Fantastic. You did a beautiful job. I wasn't ready. I looked at him. He looked at me. He knew. He knows who I am. And I froze. I wasn't ready. I wasn't with my feeling. I can communicate. I can learn to communicate with Marlon Brando. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the moment. And alternatively, if I had been ready, I could have made a beautiful contact. And he said, come on, come to my house. I know somebody who can help you for your startup. He's got $5 million for you. It's possible. It's really possible. India is the land for serendipity. That's my view. But it didn't happen. I froze. This was 25 years ago, longer. And he saw. They see me, they're not ready to talk. And he pulled his sunglasses, big, wrap-around sunglasses, out of his pocket, put them on, and then there was distance. Because I wasn't ready for the contact. And he wasn't also. Yeah? What are we trying to say? I'm trying to say that the internal our awareness of our internal state is key. It's so important. So communication, trust, power is before words. It's what allowed you to learn your first language. It's what allows you to stay with yourself. I am, I can. At the end, I'm going to check if you can remember the 4 parts. Yeah? This is a new idea in my field. I come out of language learning. That's my background for many years. This is nearly unheard of. In my field, they don't talk about any of this. They talk about words and grammar. Let's see if this comes off easily. Words. That's that one. And sounds, words, pronunciation, and grammar. If you can't see it, it says language teacher down here. They don't talk about the internal state during communication. Think about your products. Think about your services. Are you thinking about this internal aspect? How do you make your customer feel? Not, hey, this is a great phone. It's got all these features. But how do you make the customer feel? Connection. Wow, I can speak with my mother in New Zealand. Feeling. Closest we got was to this inner aspect, inner side of communication, interior side of communication, was you talked about understanding the other person. So thinking the other person has feelings and thoughts. What could they be? What will excite my partner? And to say, wow, I'm not sure about this product, but I just want to work with this woman. Yeah? I'm not sure what they're really doing, but I really feel sympathetic, connected with this person. I don't know why. But I want to work with this person. You can imagine, you can only imagine. I will never see inside your heart and mind. But I know you have a heart and mind. Are we thinking about our heart and mind? I don't feel ready to speak to this threatening person in New York, talking very fast. Yeah? Or do we? No. I am. Nobody can take this away from me. I am. Okay, I come from a little village outside Nagpur, but, I can. Okay, so this is insight. Now, just think for yourself what's happened through school. And you see, this is what happened in school. Down below says language teacher. Think about all of your work. They taught you language, and it was all about what you could find in a book, in a dictionary. That's all they talked about, right? Is it true? Who in school, I'm just curious, when you were learning, practicing, does anybody here have English as a first language? Anybody?
All of us have it.
No, I mean from the first days and months. Your mother, which mother spoke to you in English? That's what I mean by first language. Why is that? I know what you mean, but and I respect what you have. I only mean if you have it with your mother, you have an emotional connection with your mother. So see, is that the same? Can you really show yourself emotionally in English? Maybe you can, but for many, this is a process to connect with. So, yeah? So if it's a good school, did you have lots of practice of talking, discussing in second languages? Everybody had lots of practice?
Yes.
In high school, also in primary school?
Yes.
Fantastic. Maybe that's why you're here and other people are not. Yeah. Did you also talk about your thoughts and feelings during communication? Who had this experience during school? 1, 2. That's a lot more than normally happens. Okay? Who in your school you had a discussion about your own relationship to yourself? Anybody, did you ever have this discussion? Okay. This is the gold standard. This is the real gold. Okay? I'm going to do something here for everybody that is very difficult for Germans to do. Please stand up. When I ask you to do this, you will understand why. I do this as a joke for Germans, and they get very nervous. I say, please put your hand out like this. And please bend your elbow like this. Bring it over your shoulder. And please go like this. Well done. Good job. Right now, please think for yourself about 2 positive things about today. I'll give you one. I got up on a Saturday morning and wanted to listen to some strange guy from some little country. Okay? Positive talk is your inside talk. Do you feel your hand? Do you really feel it? Will you share this exercise with others so they feel positive? Do you do that with your children? Teach them how to talk to themselves. Okay? Yeah, good. You can sit down. Watching time. 5 minutes. Okay. I encourage you to think about this. There is a website. My contact information is there. There's a Facebook group. This is how, using this, and this communication confidence, I make my communication trust power to 100%, but I have 0 knowledge of Marathi, or Tamil, or Sinhalese, or Hungarian, or Georgian. I've done this now with 15 languages. I've had 15 simple conversations only in these languages, but without knowing any of the words at all. At the end, I ask them, was this a conversation in your language? You can all do it. I teach it to groups as well. Okay? That's how powerful this is. You can go a long way with this. Okay? It's just an idea, but it's a reality inside yourself. I'm going to take the last 5 minutes to say that I'm and my colleagues, Ruth is my closest colleague, we're working on a global project about a thing called Globish. Globish is simple English, and it's using 1,500 of the most common words in English. So you might think for yourself, India, and I get a lot of this information from it uses English as a way to communicate and also to exclude. Yeah? Many times you will talk with a friend in Marathi or something, and then you will change to English so the other person doesn't understand. So you communicate, I'm educated and you are not. Maybe you don't do this, but this happens. I have seen it for myself. So it's used for identity, for exclusion. Globish is a project. We want to reach half of the world by 2026. So they know the idea of Globish. Include more people. Over 80% of the world have no English at all. We need a global culture. Many of you are doing startups with technology to help global communication. You're in global communication. If you can get more people able to speak simple English with you, yeah? What is your website in? Is it in standard English? Or are you really thinking to make it simple and direct? Yeah? So the project is called Globish Right Now. Has two meanings. Globish right now. It has two meanings. One meaning is now, but also the human right. The right for international communication. I can only speak Marathi, then I cannot speak with the world. Thank you very much for your time. Time for questions.